All right, guys, welcome back to Broke Bets. We are here for our NFL wildcard picks and predictions, but first we're going to go over the Week 18 bets and how those went. So what's up, dude?
Yeah, what's going on? Did pretty well last weekend. Looking to keep the momentum going.
Yeah, you haven't missed a bet in 2 weeks. Pretty good roll there. 2.11 positive this week, 2 week win streak. First one, you got the Lions real early versus the Vikings. I think you had some insider information on that game.
The Vikings over the Bears, yeah. Is that the one we're starting with?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when that line first dropped, I think the Vikings were like a 1 point favorite, and I thought that was absolutely ridiculous. Don't know why that was the case. I think they ended up being like a 5 point favorite when it closed, but I mean, yeah, the Bears are trying to lose the last game of the year. And then they're throwing Nathan Peterman out there. Like, what do you expect? So,
Right. I thought everyone thought the Vikings were going to sit their starters, but then they actually had contention for the 2 seed, so they tried for it.
yeah,
But yeah, you got the line real early before anyone else saw it. So the next one, this is my only bet, and I missed it. I did A.J. Dillon touchdown. He had like 7 straight games with a touchdown or something crazy, and I thought, well, the worst defense in the league versus the Packers, and they're going to run the ball a lot. I thought they'd get a touchdown, but Rodgers really sucked in the red zone and just sucks, you know what I mean? And then you had your
yeah,
Lions bet.
yeah. I mean, the Lions came to play. Everyone was high on the Packers because the week before they beat the Vikings, and not so fast, everybody. The Lions came to play, and they won outright, which kind of wish I took that, but I was being a little safer with the Lions +5.
Yeah, earlier in the season they hit their like a winning margin bet for them to win by 1-13, and it had like a great number on it. And the Packers, I mean, like, if anyone really truly trusted this team, I mean, you had to be kind of foolish just watching how their offense really hadn't played that well. The defense played all right, but for the most part, looked really good against the Vikings because the field was trash. But yeah, I mean, Lions cashed out for us this year. I think we started betting them when they were like 2-7, and then they just went on a roll. So
Right. I think the only game off the top of my head I can remember was the Panthers game, which kind of
right,
it kind of screwed their season, honestly, because if they would have won that game, they'd be in the playoffs.
they should be in the playoffs anyway. But Darnold, I think he just had a killer game that game. But anyway. And then you had the Chiefs and the Jaguars, that Saturday
Yeah,
parlay.
yeah, yeah. This was the Saturday games. I mean, Chiefs had a win to get the number 1 spot, so figured they would pull through there. And Jags, they're kind of worrying me, but I mean, I don't know what your feeling was throughout the game, but I just felt like they were gonna take the lead at some point, just with the third string quarterback the Titans were playing.
Right, and they were getting pressure. They were sending blitzes, and they had that one big play in the last couple minutes to get the runaway touchdown, Josh Allen.
Yeah,
I don't know. I have mixed feelings. I think they play really well at times, and then they play down. But I think for a young quarterback, it's not too surprising. So
yeah, the Titans D is pretty good, so especially in the divisional games, those are usually pretty tough.
yeah, they stopped the run pretty well. There's also like a dumb turnover when Trevor Lawrence was throwing the reversal pass and he threw it over the guy's head a little bit and the running back couldn't catch it.
Yeah.
Shit like that. And then you followed that up with the Bills and the Bengals, the favorites, getting their wins.
Yeah, I think same as the Chiefs, these teams had to win their game to solidify their spots or seeds in the playoffs. So just kind of thought the Bills coming back with DeMar Hamlin after the previous week, I thought they'd be a little inspired. And for the Bengals, and they're playing the Ravens, who I think had third string quarterback. So
Right, and the
kind of
Bengals have won
expected
however
them
many in a
to
row. So
yeah.
for the first game, we have the Seattle Seahawks playing the 49ers. In this game, I like the 49ers minus 10.5. I mean, you got the best defense for what most people think is the best defense versus the Seahawks, who have been winning games but also just haven't been continuously good in any sense. And they're the last wild card team to kind of slip in, kind of debatable if they should have been in the playoffs. And the reason also why I like the minus 10.5 is that if you look at the 49ers record, there's very few games where they aren't winning by a ton of points. I mean, the Raiders game, 37-34, that's pretty close, but I'll ignore the Cardinals game that they just played because that's not really that important. 49ers Commanders, 37-20. 49ers Seahawks, 21-13, so they already played them once and made that spread. But then I think they also played them earlier in the season and beat them, 27-7. So I like this minus 10.5. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I like them here as well. I'll probably be betting them. I don't know if I'll go 9.5, but I'll probably do minus 2.5 and pair it with something else, probably Bills. But yeah, they've been on a roll. That defense is looking pretty darn good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. They've won 10 straight, so yeah, probably the hottest team coming into the playoffs. I mean, Brock Purdy doesn't need to do much. He just
give it to the CMC.
Has to hand it off and give it to Kittle a few times, give it to Debo a few times, and he takes care of the ball too, which is probably the most important thing for the young QB.
Yeah, so, I think unlike so many of the other teams, the 49ers have so many players that are like yards after the catch. Like CMC, yards after catch. Debo, same thing. Brandon Ayuk, same thing. Kittle. And then Kittle is like the best at it. So
yeah, I mean, the only thing that I could like maybe think of, which would be playing the same team 3 times. It's hard to beat the same team three times in a year, but with the playoff atmosphere, I think being at home for the 49ers will be helpful for them. They're 8-1 at home on the year,
right?
And I just can't see them losing this game. So 49ers all day.
Right on. Next game, you got the Chargers and the Jags. I think we're both on the Jags here. My thoughts are with this is just that I feel like the Chargers have constantly played under their potential. The defense has some names on it, but really never played that great. And the Jags have kind of had this underdog mentality and played pretty decent all through this time. But it's hard to say. I mean, the Chargers could come out and run a good offense. We'll see. But as of right now, I like the Jags.
Yeah, especially at plus money here. I think it opened like 1 point either way. I think the Chargers, I believe they're getting Joey Bosa back, which will be a huge help for them.
Yeah.
That would be the only thing I could think of to maybe sway me the other way. But I think the Jags are just on a roll lately, especially playing at home too for this game. That crowd's going to be electric, just like it was
with that Titans loud
game.
Yeah,
they were really loud. I don't think I've ever seen a Jaguars game like that. So yeah, I mean, I think Herbert's bound to make a couple picks, and I think those can be costly here in this game.
Right. Yeah, I don't see enough consistency from either side to really feel super comfortable. But I'll play on some of the ability of the Jaguars here. And I think that the Jaguars D, they hit a little bit harder, play a little bit harder, so I like that. Next, the Dolphins and the Bills. So for this game, I mean, that number is always just very hard to make a pick on. We've said that a million times on here. But the Bills, I feel like they sway between being really good and then also playing very close games. I think it kind of depends sometimes how Josh Allen does, in the red zone where he's kind of turned the ball over. But I'd still have to stick with the minus 14 here just because of quarterback situation with the Dolphins. So that's my spot.
I mean, if you're not going to be backing up Skylar Thompson in a playoff game in Buffalo, so I mean, I think all signs are pointing to Buffalo winning this game pretty handily. Probably not bet the minus 13 just because that number is just too high. I'll probably bring that number down a little bit and pair it with something else.
Yeah, it's too much for me as well. Like you said, if you do the minus 2.5 thing with them and the 49ers and maybe one, like the Bengals down the road,
Yeah,
you could find something with that. But that's also a lot of things to connect. It gives a little uncertainty in NFL stuff. It's not like the UFC where people that are clear favorites typically end up winning. But yeah, I'd stick with that. But over
quarterback
unders,
situation,
I don't
Dolphins.
love it either.
Yeah, I can't trust them.
Okay, next game. The Giants and the Vikings. We're going with the Vikings minus 3. Again, you could buy that half point and go to minus 2.5. But a home game for the Vikings. The Giants kind of ended their season, I thought, pretty well. They didn't play, what's his face, Daniel Jones in the last game. But absolutely railed the Colts the week before. But these teams just played like 3 weeks ago, so it's kind of me interesting how this game plays out. And it was in Minnesota the same, so I don't really know what to fully think with this game. The Vikings seem to always play everything close, and probably will do the same here.
Yeah, I anticipate this game being close, just like the first one. Vikings are 8-1 at home this year. That only loss coming to the Cowboys, which was an absolute blowout.
You can say that again.
Giants away are 4-4, so they're about 500 there. So I am leaning that Vikings minus 2.5. I think a late field goal, just like in their first game, is probably how this game ends.
Right. I mean, I think Daniel Jones, I think when they use him as a running threat, he actually can do really well. With him, they don't. He's pretty standard, pretty nonchalant, not very great. I mean, the Vikings, the biggest concern for me in this game as well. The offensive line is like getting swapped around a bunch. I think Brian O'Neill, their right tackle, is done for the year, and he's like, I don't think they have anybody that great to back him up. Their center, I think Garrett Bradbury is questionable, but that's something to look out for because Kirk's mobility is horrible. So
non-existent.
Right. Runs for a first down here and there, but if you talk about actually being agile, he doesn't have any of it. All right. Next game, Bengals and the Ravens. If I had to make a Super Bowl prediction on which team on the AFC side makes it, in my opinion, it's the Bengals. They're just on fire right now. And with that, I'm going to pick their spread. I think they're going to win this game. And last year, I picked a lot of underdogs in the playoffs, and I kind of rode the Bengals up to the Super Bowl betting-wise, and it worked really well. On the NFC side, if I had to pick a Super Bowl team, it'd probably be the 49ers right now for how consistent they are as well, their win streak. But, yeah, Bengals have just been showing up. Joe Burrow's been looking really good as well. And, yeah, I like them to win this game pretty handedly.
Yeah, they're getting hot at the right time. Yeah, they just played the Ravens this past week and pretty much dominated them. So, I mean, how does this game play out? Probably about the same. I think. It gives the Ravens QB another week to prepare, but I don't anticipate them playing much different. Right. I do like the Bengals here. Probably won't take that 8.5. That's just too high for my liking, but I will probably be betting on them.
Yeah, the strength of schedule of the Ravens this year, I mean, if you really look at it, it hasn't really been that good. I know Tyler Huntley's playing and all that, but they played, other than the Bengals right here, Steelers, Falcons, Browns, Steelers, Broncos, Jags, Panthers, Saints, Bucks, Browns, Giants, and then some other decent teams at the beginning, but not many fully winning record teams. That they barely skate by for low-scoring games with, I just don't really see an upset being pulled here, although that defense can keep them in it if Burrow doesn't stay safe. But other than that, -9.
Yeah, I think the Bengals defense has improved throughout the year as well, so I do like them.
And they've gotten more offensively diverse, I feel like. Like, Joe Mixon was just running into a brick wall until P. Ryan started playing, and then he started kicking ass. So, yeah, I'm all over him as well. Next game. The Cowboys and the Bucks. I'm going with the Bucks, and I've actually already bet this line, the -2.5.
Going with the Bucks?
Or, sorry, the Cowboys. Fuck. I just think that how can you bet Tampa right now? I mean, okay, they're at a home game, but it's to me like a decent weather home game. Monday Night Football, and the biggest thing that's going to be makes this game count is whether Dak Prescott throws dumb interceptions, and that's just the biggest problem. Brady has looked horrible all year. I know his protection isn't great, and he had a decent game versus the Panthers, but like, that's one game where you're throwing it up to your star wide receiver on the sideline, who was wide open 3 times as well. The Cowboys have blown out a whole lot of teams this year. Their defense will be all over Brady as well, I would assume, and I gotta stay with the Cowboys.
Yep, I do like the Cowboys as well. I think last week's performance was atrocious, and that's why I think this line is this close. I would think they'd be like a 5-6 point favorite if they didn't play so bad.
It's just the home game effect, I think, too. Something stupid like that.
Yeah, that can be.
But yeah, definitely that game's definitely the biggest influence.
Yeah, I mean, usually teams that play that bad, they're not gonna play like that again 2 weeks in a row. So I like them to come out inspired, and I like them to go into Tampa and come away with a victory.
Yeah, do you think this is Brady's last game, or do you think he's going to play one more still?
I think he'll go to Vegas next year.
I just don't even understand the point of him sticking around to playing football, to be honest. But, I don't know. If you had a Super Bowl prediction, who gets there from each side? What's your thoughts?
I think Bills.
Bills, okay.
I think the script writing is just headed for the Bills after what happened last week. And then 49ers if I had to take an NFC team.
Right. I think they might also get that, that Bills Chiefs game that they look for. That's just going to be like their moneymaker year after year.
So, yeah, Bills Chiefs and Bills win in overtime.
They love that shit.
Payback from last year.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
Any other bets you can think of off the top of your head that you're liking? The favorite spreads put together or something?
Yeah, I'll probably do 49ers and Bills together, or maybe Bills and Bengals together. Some combination of those 3 teams at -2.5. Then probably take the Cowboys, probably take the Vikings, maybe money line.
Yeah.
And probably Jags money line.
Vikings missed too many like extra points and shit too, even for the spread. So
maybe even Jags +3. I don't think that would be a bad idea either, because I could see them losing, but I think it'd be a close game. So
I might just watch that one, or the over.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be the toughest game to call.
Right.
And the odds indicate that as well. So
well,
that's it for me.
UFC bets will be coming out tomorrow for you guys, and we'll get that all going again. And stay tuned to the Instagram. We'll have the bets out. If there's anything on Saturday, we'll post it. If there's anything on, we'll definitely have something out for Sunday. But the sheet's probably gonna be pretty small this time because there's not many things to pick from. Obviously, maybe a touchdown score here or there, but that's all I can really think of.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe get down with ETN touchdown. We'll have to see, but that's it for me for right now.
All right. Peace.
Peace.